Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Okay. Well, I could hear myself just then. I can hear you. Oh, going through the stream. We just jump into it.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes,
It's
we're live
time.
now. Well, that was embarrassing. Everyone uh already heard our conversation early. Couldn't you there? We're live now.
I'm here.
You're there? I don't think we can hear you on the stream. Can you talk?
I can talk. I can hear
Okay.
myself as
Yep,
well.
it's working. All right. Well, that was an embarrassing start to our live stream. We're amateurs at this, so we're sorry. But yes, welcome to the Undying developer update for August 6th, 2020. Welcome. I am Jin, the creative director on Undying, and we have Kun, the Vanimals founder and the project lead. Um, yeah, so we have our closed alpha just around the corner, so we wanted to do um, this video to give you an update on how the game's going and what kind of stuff you might expect from the closed alpha. And yeah, just sort of give you a rundown of what we learned from our previous alpha. So yeah, Kun, do you want to say something else before we start?
Yeah, we spent some time to learn from you guys, from the previous alpha testers. They gave us some very precious feedback, and of course, we have some other ideas we have that we plan to do for the current new alpha testing. So we put them together. Also, we're going to show you a deck about what we did for the new build. That's mainly from your feedback and our some of our previous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
All right. So like we just mentioned, then our main topic for today is closed alpha 1 to closed alpha 2. What did we learn?
Mm.
So yeah, last time we ran our closed alpha, we had a decent group of people, and we got a lot of excellent feedback, and we think our game has changed for the better in a lot of cases because of that feedback. It was very helpful for us to know what parts of the game were heading in the right direction, what parts may be heading in the wrong direction. And so today we wanted to highlight a few of those things that you guys brought to us on Alpha One, and um, what we've done to improve those portions of the game. So the first one today we want to talk about is UI, or user interface and user experience. This was basically the a breakdown of the player feedback we got when it came to these things. Where it wasn't intuitive. Um, what people thought should work isn't how it worked, and so people got confused with the controls and what they were supposed to do. It was clunky and confusing. Um, yeah, I think that speaks for itself. Not optimized.
Yeah.
This is a big one. So whether you are playing on using keyboard and mouse or a gamepad, both of them weren't optimized. So there were like some things that worked well with some of them, and then for other parts, they were a bit clunky and didn't make much sense. So that was another big one. And just overall, the UI was unclear. Like people did not know what certain things would do, how would it affect the game, and how would it affect their characters and stuff like that. So yeah, this was the major feedback we got in concerning the user interface and user experience. Kun, do you have anything else to add about the player feedback?
Yeah, I mean, actually, before we launched the first alpha, we kind of know some of the problems, but we didn't expect that it was so bad from the feedback. And of course, we were alerted by your feedback. Especially, there is a very epic problems which is around this dismantle system. That, for example, you have two broken items on in your bag. You couldn't even select which one to dismantle. It's very bad. So for this well, of course, yeah, this comes the first thing that we wanted to
Yeah,
fix, and we thought we already fixed a lot of things. And when you play the new build, please also focusing on this part first and see if there are still be some major issues. If there are, please
yeah.
let us
So with everything, like the previous alpha, we're listening to all the feedback and we will put them into account. I think we're about to show you some examples of how we tried to clear up these problems. So one of the main ones is that people didn't were confused when they were in a cutscene and when they were talking to certain characters. So now we've implemented a new dialogue UI, or like a new cutscene UI, if you will, to make, and while where the game sort of stops and there's not other things distracting you. We had problems where the AI speech bubbles will come over the top of the cutscene, and so now we just have a specific cutscene dialogue UI, and so it's just much clearer who's saying what, when they're saying it. You can take your time to read it. A lot of things were flying past too fast for people, so now you have the press a button to continue, that sort of thing. Um, so yeah, this is a big one. I would say that it's not fully implemented yet. There are a few places where we still haven't implemented this type of dialogue, but it is something we're adding in, and so we hope that you know you like it.
Yeah, this is we are back to more like a traditional RPG style, which of course can deliver a clear sense of communicate. How to say that? Communicating a
Yeah,
storyline to you guys. Hopefully, this can work. Definitely, it's not like a fully implemented system, but
yeah.
we're on the way.
All right, and then the next thing, and probably a huge thing for a lot of people, is that now we've changed the user experience when it comes. Oops, I've lost the stream. Are we here?
Um,
Still here?
I'm on.
Oh, okay,
It seems like they are. Yeah, we're
we're
back.
back. All right, looks like we just lost for a few seconds.
We're back.
So yeah, a huge thing that people will, you know, for a long time, this is a big struggle for us and how to manage the player's inventory since we have two characters. Um, and
Yeah.
originally, um, uh, originally we had it like quick button. So like one button would be for Cody, one button would be for Anling, one button would be move things. And so that was confusing to a lot of people. This wasn't really clicking with anybody. And um, in a lot of ways, like what I was saying before, people just wanted to do something, but none of the buttons they were pressing were doing what they wanted it to do. It was just super unclear. So now we've
Mm.
simplified um, the inventory user experience, and so if you can see on this picture here, we have the bottle highlighted, and then when you tap or when you select that bottle, then you get a mini menu of what to do with it, and um, we just think it's much clearer. You know what's going to happen. You know what you're doing, and so just overall, it should be a better experience. And this was something that was, you know, a lot of people were struggling with. So we hope that this simplifies things and that, yeah, it makes your time managing your inventory a bit more enjoyable.
Yeah. And also, later we'll explain why we're trying to stick on two bag spaces, like Anling's bag and Code's bag, because in some of the previous feedback, people are asking, can we just merge them together so that it will be easier to present, to understand? But later in the deck, we'll tell you why we insist on two bag systems.
Yeah. This might, yeah, it might seem like a cumbersome thing because they're always together, but yes, we'll see. Um, so another thing that we fixed up in the UI, talked about this before. The dismantling user experience is now completely changed. Um,
Mm,
Before, when you had something in your bag to dismantle and break up into materials, you couldn't select which one. So if you had two axes, one was broken and one was um, not broken. If you wanted to dismantle it, you couldn't select which one, and you might just dismantle the one that wasn't broken. Um, so this one has a complete redesign, and now you individually select from your bag what things you want to
mm.
dismantle and get the materials. This was something I think internally we knew wasn't perfect before, but now we've just threw out the old one and started from scratch.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, it was pretty awkward
yeah, it was
before.
really bad. We admit it was bad. So the other thing that we also did is improve the HUD, and so it's much clearer when your stats are going down and when they're going up. You'll see this.
Yeah.
Um, you'll see it's all animated now. Before you could look away and then look back and then all of a sudden everything's down. Now it's a bit more clear. Oh, now how often does your hunger go down, your thirst go down? Yeah, it's just more visually pleasing, and it also helps with getting the information across.
Yes.
Is there anything you want to add for these two, Kun?
No,
No.
I'm okay.
Okay,
Yeah, we can
let's move on.
keep going.
Okay, so here another major issue was onboarding or the tutorial portion of our game. And this was the feedback we got. You're thrown into the deep end. You're just sort of like, oh, I'm in this subway. Uh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know who this person is. We just threw you straight into the deep end. Go on, survive. Um, and this wasn't clicking with a lot of players. Um, because we threw them in the deep end, they had no idea what they were supposed to be doing. Um,
Mm,
and they could easily get lost. One of the first things we asked the player to do in the original tutorial was to find home, and we have uh, to that point of the game we have given no information to where home is. So um, yeah, it wasn't ideal. It wasn't ideal. But we have made some big changes on the onboarding section. So maybe I'll get Kun to go through it with you. So yeah,
okay.
can you talk about this, Kun?
Right, right. Okay. I'm not quite sure you guys still remember that, but the first 10 minutes you are in the subway and you try to save some guy and try to break through a door and find him and get out of the subway and get back home. It's a little bit, let's say that, um, misleading, as Jin just said. Especially when we were trying to build a survival game, we wanted to deliver to you guys that this game is a survival game, which you have to feed yourself, find materials to build things, to upgrade things, use tools, things like that, instead of to looking for missing people or trying to break through or explore, which is not the goal of the game. The game still it has some story, it has some exploration, it has some adventure, but it's not an adventure game. Still, the base of the game is survival game. So the new alpha testing, first 5 to 10 minutes, you will be focusing on survival, how to survive. So the game will start from your house and start from you building tools, stations to make things, and then to uh, help to feed your kid. And then there's a little combat tutorial as well around your house. So from this build, I think we're going to even for the final build to trying to um, improve our reporting system based on what you're going to see on Alpha 2, which is survive and build your material system around around your house.
Yeah, this was when we heard that people were struggling with the onboarding, we were very unsure originally what to do at this point. Um, but
Mm,
we spoke to our executive producer. I'm now name dropping. David Brevik is our executive producer on this
mm,
project, and he brought up a really great point. Was you want to start with you want to start at the place that you're going to be spending your most time with, and in this game, you're spending your most time at your house. So, you know, we change things around. All the story events that happened before still happen. They're just being reshuffled a little. So we haven't really taken any content out in terms to do this. We've just shuffled things around a little bit. Another
mm,
thing, because of this change, another thing that I wanted to bring through was that to play through all the major game mechanics for the first time, in the original closed alpha, when I was speed running it as fast as I possibly could, it takes about 10 minutes. But now in this new system that we've done, this new onboarding system, it takes about 2.5 minutes to get through nearly everything. So that includes like restoring workbenches, um, crafting, combat, sleeping, all this sort of stuff is already encompassed in the first 2.5 minutes. And then after that, you're free to start doing whatever you want. You should have at least a basic knowledge of everything in the game, and then you can keep going. So yeah, we think this also helps for replay value. You know, if you do a 10-minute tutorial every time you play the game, um, it's not that fun. So we just shortened it and then let you
yeah,
start doing what you want to do.
yeah. Especially as we just talked about this 2.5 minutes, what you do in the 2.5 minutes is all about the
Yeah,
core gameplay. It's not like you have to find things and to worry about your bag is
yeah,
all full, things like that. You don't need
yeah,
to.
exactly. Okay. The next thing, the next major bit of feedback, were NPCs. So one of them was that they wanted to interact more with them, and that they weren't enough. Um, and actually, a lot of this feedback came back from people who had previously played the game at E3 and Gamescom. When they played those builds, we actually had more NPCs than we had in our original alpha, and they really, liked that world building. They really liked seeing all these different characters, and so they were a little disappointed when um, that in the closed alpha there weren't many NPCs to interact with. So actually, I'm just going to show you a video, if that's okay, of what we have done
Mm.
to tackle this issue. So
This is the
yeah, it's a
survivors camp.
survivors camp.
Yeah.
So yeah, we brought back a whole bunch of NPCs basically. Um,
Mm.
And if you played the game at Gamescom or E3, you might recognize this location a little bit. It's still quite different to back then, but I think you probably recognize what this is. Um,
Yeah.
we Yeah, so we've added more NPCs now. They all sort of have mini storylines, and you can sort of start piecing together um, what's happened to them and what kind of people they are and stuff like that. So yeah, we've just added a whole bunch more in. Um, this is only the beginning, though. A lot of their stuff is not quite finished yet, and their storylines maybe don't have conclusive answers yet. We're still working on it, but we hope that adding these
Yeah.
characters in will just you know make the world more lived in. So yeah, that's what we've decided to do about NPCs.
And also most of them they have their mini quests or mini
Yeah,
missions that you can help them, and they will give some rewards, or some of them they don't give you rewards, but some they probably give you some, let's say that, a secret of yours, the story
yeah,
back then.
we're gonna get hints of
So
stories
should be
in
fine.
this as well. So in a lot of ways, a lot of these characters are more connected than they appear at first glance, and so it'll be interesting seeing you guys try and uncover all of this. All right.
Yeah.
So the next
Okay.
major issue was music and audio, and the player feedback would basically was audio was severely lacking and little to no music. Um, so
Mm.
yes, in our previous closed alpha, we basically had no music, if I remember correctly, or maybe there was one audio track. Um, and we had it was very lacking, and that was because at the time we hadn't locked down somebody to do our audio yet. But we're happy to say that for the closed alpha, um, we now have our own composer for our project, and his name is Achio Hutchings. Agio Hutchings. He's created brand new tracks, and he was the composer of Path of Exile. So if you've ever played that game and listened to the music there, we've brought him along. He's joined our project. We did a tease of his music. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can hear a little bit, but that was like an early demo. The stuff that's in the game now is just awesome, just super awesome.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Not only did he just do music tracks, now we have dynamic music tracks. So depending on what you're doing, where you are, what time of day it is, you will hear
Hmm.
different versions of the track, and it will sort of change. And when you get into danger, it'll morph into something else. It's very cool. It really ups the atmosphere of our game. So we hope
Mm.
um, everybody likes the new tracks, and there's definitely more coming. So what you hear now is not all of it. We will eventually have more, but yeah, for now, yeah, the
Yeah.
tracks we love them. We're so happy with the music, and
We do.
yeah, we can Agio has been an awesome new addition to the project. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I think this platform
Yes.
here, last time I streamed live some audio tracks, it didn't quite go down very well. So I'll just let you experience it in the game if you play the closed alpha. And I'm sure in the future we'll tease more tracks
Okay.
um, because they're just great.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so those were four major concerns that players had um, regarding the previous closed alpha. Um, but this, for now, we just wanted to show you something new. So I have a little video here, and then Kun can explain what we're seeing after we. So here we go.
Yeah. The new system. Yeah. The
Yes.
raining.
So now,
It
yeah,
was
a
very
weather
cold
system.
and wet. Yeah, it's weather system. Yeah. So given the timeline of the story, we are going to add a raining system, at least a raining system for the game to the game. Maybe later there will be new some other types of weather, but right now we're focusing on rain, new alpha.
Yeah.
Um,
And rain doesn't just
so
rain
this is
doesn't just
like
look
two
good,
like
right? Like it has gameplay. It affects the gameplay in some way. So can you give a little tease?
there. Yeah, in general, raining is a like big challenge to you guys to as a player, especially because it's wet and it's also
Yeah.
cold. You have to take care of Cody because under like exposed Cody under the rain will cause him not very healthy very quickly. If you don't give him enough medicine or a raincoat or something protect him, he will just go very unhealthy. And if it's too unhealthy to the certain level, he can't go out of the house. So he will try to stay in the bed at home, and you have to take care of him, or to go out to find some medicines, enough medicines to bring him back. So this is a new system. So if he is in the is in the bed, you have to go out on your own. So you will only have
Yeah.
one bag inventory space. This is one thing. This is very challenging. If you play the first build, you know with only one bag or with one pair of hands, it's very challenging to explore. The other thing is, it also has some rewards to the game, to your gamers, like some like plantings or some vegetables or some wild uh, crops in the forest that it helps to grow them. So after every rain, you can go out to the like forest or farm place and to try to harvest things, all the vegetables, all the grasses.
Yeah.
Well, and also it's easier for you to explore the in the rain because the zombies are less sensitive to your tracks. Like they cannot hear you very well out. You, you will only act for them when you're very close to them. Things like that. There are more things. Like during the raining season, your food will decay more fastly. You have to upgrade your storage box that can, to some extent, help to storage your food, like fridge,
Hmm.
things like that. It should be very fun, not just visual clue. And also, it's not just finishing you guys. It also can help you to some extent. What you need to do is just to get prepared
Yeah.
from it.
That's yeah. It's got a lot. It's gonna add a lot to the game. Um, so we're
Yeah,
really
it's
excited
a
to
big
hear how you guys like the new rating system, and yeah, we're gonna love to hear your feedback on that, and maybe find ways to maybe make it a little bit more interesting, or you know, we'll
yeah
see.
to help us to improve it.
Um, before we move on, I just wanted to bring up another topic. So one of the one of the major bits of feedback we got last alpha was combat. Um, and with
Mm.
combat, this is I think the biggest sticking point for most of the players, saying that the combat wasn't quite what they were looking for. And so we are looking at it, um, but for this build, the combat hasn't changed majorly. But it is going to be reworked.
Mm.
We know that it's an issue for a lot of players. They think it's clunky. It's not. It's just not fun. Um, so it is something we're working on internally. But in terms of what you can expect in the closed alpha, not much has changed. I guess there are a few things that have changed. Kun, do you want to mention some of the things that have changed for combat?
Yeah. One of the things that we changed for combat is aiming system. Aiming, how you aim. The previous version you can't like switch. between targets. Now, in this build, it's easier to do that. So first of all, it's
Yeah.
possible to do that, and it's not hard to do. So aiming is one thing. The other thing is the control of if you're using keyboard or a controller. The previous version, it's not very easy to like you turn completely in 1 second. Now it's easier. So in terms of aiming or targeting and control, we have some slight changes. Hopefully, can help your user experience on general control and some
Yeah.
combat uh, experience.
Yeah, so hopefully what the changes we have made will make that experience a bit better for you guys. But know that this is not final.
Mm,
We are working on it. We just
it's not.
we need a little bit more time when it comes to that. So um, please, by all means, continue to give us your feedback when it comes to combat. But keep in the back of your mind, we
Yeah.
are working on a new system. But if you have any ideas on how you think it might improve, um, feel free to let us know. um, yeah, we'll definitely, we're listening. We're listening to everything. I hope um, this stream at least has given you an idea about how much we're listening. What your feedback is really valuable to us. So, if we can
Yeah.
implement something that will make your life better in playing our game, then we're gonna do that. Um,
Yeah,
no,
actually,
continue.
sorry. Actually, the weather system or some new challenge system is something also from the previous alpha feedback.
Mm.
There may be at least 2 or 3 people mentioned that. And actually, we love that as well, which we trying to. I mean, not just for this build. In the future, we're trying to add more diversified challenges to the games, to the to the to the two main
I think
characters.
I think also we had plans to do a weather system in our game before the previous alpha, but
Yeah,
I think when we
it
heard the
was
feedback that
it was
some people wanted something like that in our game, then it sort of reinforced the decision, and then so that's why we now have this reign as part of this closed alpha. So, um, yeah. So,
right.
speak your mind. We might be already working on it in the background, but if it's something that comes up with a bunch of you guys and we've already sort of planned it, it might push it ahead uh,
Hmm.
a little bit quicker because we know it's something that you guys want. Um, but
Yes.
have a important announcement regarding our closed alpha, and it's unfortunately we have a delay. It was supposed to start on August 8th, which is in 2 days' time, but unfortunately we just need a
Mm.
little bit more time to work on it. So the new date.
Yeah, because as we just talked about,
Yes, you talk.
sorry, there are a lot of things we just added and changed. So, but the team is not bigger. It's the same team. So we thought we can handle that and also to deliver the build on time. But the the
The reality is that this is much harder than it looks. So you
yeah.
don't have to wait too much longer if you wanted to play the closed alpha. The new dates are August 13 to August 20. So we're pushing it about a week. Not quite. Yeah, not quite a week.
Yeah, 5 days.
We push it 5 days. Um, so, we're sorry if you were inconvenienced at all, if you had plans to play it this weekend or something like that. Yeah, we just need a little bit more time. So this will be the new dates. Um, Everyone who has been accepted into the closed alpha is still part of the closed alpha. Nothing has changed except we've moved it back 5 days. So,
Yeah,
um, but in the end, we think that this will result in a better um, alpha for you to play. So, this is why we had to make this tough decision. Um, but yeah,
yeah,
so there's that. Um, so that's basically all we have today in terms of what we have prepared. We're prepared to answer any questions if there are any. So if you're in the chat, shoot questions away, or if you're in our Discord server, shoot questions away. Um, but other than that, we're pretty much done here. Let me have a look.
Seems that we're done.
Hmm. That's all right. Um,
Yeah.
Kun, is there anything you wanted to add before we head off?
Um, yeah, I think I wanted to add a little bit to the delay.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, the whole team is sorry about that. We didn't want that definitely, and we think we're confident that the whole game will be good, but we're trying to make sure that every launch, even alpha or any beta launch, is what's that? Is fully ready.
Yeah.
So as I said just now, the bugs told me not do that for now, uh, which is something that we feel very sorry to see that.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that going forward, any predicted or forecasted launches or releases will be on track. We'll do our best to do that. That's what I want to add.
Yeah. We just don't want you guys to have a bad experience. So, um, yeah, we've decided to delay it a little, but we hope that you enjoy it more because of it. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I want to bring up before we head off? Um, we'll hang around for about a couple more minutes to see if any questions come in. If not, all good. I'm sure you guys just want to play it at this point, so we totally get it. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, we're very excited about this build. Today we showed you a few things that we made changes, but there's actually a lot more changes across the build. Uh, the We have one major new area, which we showed off a little bit um, today. The survivors camp is a new area which was not in the previous build. Um, what else? Story has been
There's
improved.
another one, a factory.
Oh yes, there's another one as well. So there's two new major areas. Um, Lots of NPCs. Um, we also have obviously the new music, which I'm very excited for everyone to hear. We also improved the storyline a bit. So if you played the previous build, expect thing changes. Hopefully you like them. Let us know. Um,
Hmm.
and what else is there? There's quite a few little things here and there, and so it's hard to put them all together.
Yeah.
Um, so in terms of that, if you haven't yet, please join our Discord server. Um, our Discord server link is on the screen now. It's
Mm.
discord.gg/play Undying. Um, there is the best way to get in contact with us and deliver your feedback to us if you play the alpha. In the alpha, we'll also have, if you play the last one, we'll have a very similar questionnaire as well, so you can give feedback in the game directly, and that will be sent to us. Um, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Facebook. That will give you the most up to date information regarding the closed
Mm.
alpha and any news in the future on, you know, um, what game shows we're going to be at, or when are we going to show new trailers and stuff like that. So make sure you join our social media. And yeah, make sure you wish, if you are really excited. Sorry, I forgot how to speak. Excited for Undying. Make sure you wish list our game on Steam. It really helps, and it'll also let you know when the game comes out, obviously. And yeah, is there anything else that we need to plug in here?
I think we should be fine. We're good.
Okay. So
Yeah.
this was the developer update for August 6th, 2020. We
Hmm.
plan to be doing more of these. I don't know if it's going to be a monthly or it's a milestone or something like that. Um, but I think it's cool to show you guys what we heard from you and how we're implementing it into the game. So I definitely want to do another one of these. And maybe
Mm.
when we have some cool new features that we want to show, we might do these as well. So these developer updates are not necessarily tied to alphas or betas. We might just do them every now and then just to keep you guys updated and so you know how things are coming along. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so I hope you enjoyed our stream. And we had a little technical hurdles at the beginning, but it's fine.
Yeah. Pretty good.
All right. Thanks so
All
much,
right.
guys. All right, we'll catch you later. We hope to see you playing the build next week. All right.
New build. Yeah.
See you guys.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Jane.
No worries. Bye.
Bye bye, guys.